1 tablespoon of ordinary unflavored gelatin from any American grocery store, 1 gallon of hot water, 5 minutes of mixing, and every plant in your garden receives a slow-release nitrogen amendment that peer-reviewed agricultural research has documented as producing shoot growth increases of up to 244% compared to untreated controls in controlled greenhouse trials. Peppers, cucumbers, broccoli, tomatoes, arugula, field corn, leafy greens, herbs, houseplants, African violets, Boston ferns, container plants of every category, and every other nitrogen-hungry plant in your garden responds to the same simple recipe through the same underlying biology. The compound responsible is called gelatin, and the biological effect it produces has been documented in peer-reviewed research published in the journal Frontiers in Plant Science in 2018, in follow-up publications archived on the National Center for Biotechnology Information Database, and in research conducted decades earlier by the University of Houston on 49 different plant species over a 2-year experimental period. The specific advantage that gelatin provides over conventional nitrogen fertilizers comes down to the way plant biology actually absorbs and uses the nitrogen. And the difference is substantial enough that the same amount of nitrogen delivered through gelatin produces measurably more plant growth than the same nitrogen delivered through urea or standard synthetic fertilizers. And the cost of an entire packet of unflavored gelatin at any American grocery store runs between $2 and $3. Providing enough material to treat a substantial home garden across multiple applications throughout the growing season. But before I walk you through the exact recipe that turns a $2 baking ingredient into one of the most extensively documented biostimulant nitrogen sources ever validated in peer-reviewed research, and the honest realities about what the research shows regarding fruit yield versus plant size, you need to understand something almost every gardening video on this topic gets completely wrong. Gelatin is not a complete fertilizer. It contains substantial nitrogen, but essentially no phosphorus or potassium, and treating it as a comprehensive plant food will produce disappointing results in gardens that need broader nutritional support. Stay with me, because the difference between using gelatin correctly as a targeted nitrogen biostimulant and treating it as a miracle plant food is the difference between activating the peer-reviewed benefits documented in the research and simply wasting the treatment on the wrong biological problem. The story of gelatin reaches back thousands of years to the earliest days of human civilization, when the collagen extracted from animal bones, hides, and connective tissue provided one of the earliest processed food ingredients known to human cuisine. Ancient Egyptian records document gelatin production as far back as 4,000 years before the birth of Christ. And every subsequent civilization from Greek to Roman to medieval European refined the extraction techniques and expanded the culinary and medicinal uses. Commercial gelatin production in an industrial form began in France in 1817, when a chemist named Jean-Pierre Joseph Darcet developed processes for producing gelatin at scale, and the industry expanded rapidly through the 19th century as demand for the ingredient grew across food, pharmaceutical, and industrial applications. In 1845, an American inventor named Peter Cooper patented a formulation that would eventually become the modern gelatin dessert, though his patent sat largely unused for decades before others expanded on the concept. The specific American gelatin story that most directly concerns modern gardeners begins in the year 1890, when an American entrepreneur named Charles B. Knox founded a company in Johnstown, New York, to commercially produce and market standardized granulated gelatin under the Knox brand name. Knox and his wife Rose Knox transformed gelatin from a labor-intensive kitchen preparation into a convenient packaged product that ordinary consumers could use in their own homes without extensive processing. The Knox brand of unflavored gelatin remains one of the most recognized names in American kitchens, and the same standardized product that Charles and Rose Knox introduced continues in continuous production over 130 years later. In 1897, a carpenter in Leroy, New York, added fruit flavoring and sugar to gelatin and created the flavored dessert product that would become known as Jell-O. But the plain, unflavored gelatin that concerns us in this video remained available alongside the flavored version and became increasingly popular among cooks who wanted the functional properties of gelatin without added sugars or artificial ingredients. Here is the part nobody talks about. The reason gelatin produces such dramatic effects on plant growth comes down to specific biology that goes beyond simple nitrogen delivery. Gelatin is what agricultural scientists classify as a biostimulant, meaning it stimulates plant growth through mechanisms that operate in addition to the simple nutritional contribution of the nitrogen it contains. When plants absorb the amino acids released from gelatin during soil breakdown, those amino acids skip several of the metabolic steps that plants would otherwise need to perform to build proteins from raw nitrogen sources like urea or ammonium. The plant biology receives partially pre-assembled protein building blocks rather than raw nitrogen atoms, and the metabolic energy that would otherwise be spent building those amino acids from scratch becomes available for other growth processes. The result documented across peer-reviewed research is plant growth that exceeds what would be expected from the nitrogen content alone. The specific amino acid composition of gelatin is worth understanding in more detail, because it explains why this particular protein source outperforms other nitrogen delivery methods. Gelatin is uniquely rich in 3 specific amino acids that most other protein sources contain in much smaller quantities. Glycine is the smallest amino acid and functions as a building block for chlorophyll synthesis, meaning plants use it directly to manufacture the green pigment responsible for photosynthesis. Proline plays specialized roles in stress tolerance and protein folding, helping plants maintain cellular function during drought, heat, or cold stress. Hydroxyproline is a modified form of proline that appears specifically in structural proteins, including the cell wall components that give plant tissue its physical strength and rigidity. Together, these 3 amino acids make up approximately 50% of gelatin protein by weight, and delivering them directly to plant roots provides pre-assembled building blocks for chlorophyll production, stress response biology, and structural tissue development. The frontiers in plant science research specifically tested whether these individual amino acids were responsible for the growth benefits, and the results showed that pure proline or hydroxyproline alone did not produce the same effects as intact gelatin, indicating that the complete protein structure delivers additional benefits beyond what the individual amino acids provide. The molecular weight considerations are equally important for understanding why gelatin works so effectively. When gelatin is exposed to soil moisture and warmth, the protein gradually breaks down into progressively smaller fragments over days to weeks, releasing amino acids into the root zone at a rate that matches the pace at which plants can absorb and use them. This slow-release biology contrasts sharply with synthetic nitrogen fertilizers like urea or ammonium sulfate, which release their entire nitrogen content within hours of application and often exceed what plants can use before the excess leaches out of the root zone. Gelatin delivers nitrogen at essentially the rate plants request it, without the losses that fast-release synthetic fertilizers suffer through leaching, volatilization, and denitrification. This time-release quality also reduces the risk of fertilizer burn on plant roots that over-application of synthetic nitrogen sources can cause. Now stay with me, because the peer-reviewed research documenting these effects reports numbers that most gardeners find hard to believe until they see the specific study details. Research published in Frontiers in Plant Science in 2018 conducted controlled greenhouse experiments comparing gelatin capsule treatments against untreated controls across multiple crop species. The results documented shoot dry weight increases of 138% for cucumber, 244% for pepper, 50% for broccoli, 45% for tomato, 41% for arugula, and 18% for field corn, all measured against untreated control plants growing under otherwise identical conditions. The 244% increase in pepper shoot dry weight represents essentially a tripling of plant growth from the gelatin treatment compared to untreated controls, achieved through the addition of nothing more exotic than the same gelatin capsules that pharmacies sell for containing medications. Follow-up experiments comparing gelatin against amino acid mixtures containing the same nitrogen content demonstrated that gelatin outperformed the amino acid mixtures even when the total nitrogen content was equivalent, confirming that the biostimulant effect operates through mechanisms beyond simple nitrogen delivery. Here is the shareable detail that should change how you think about garden nitrogen supplementation forever. A single gelatin capsule containing approximately 7.1 milligrams of nitrogen, placed adjacent to a seed at planting time, produced growth responses that dramatically exceeded what pure amino acid mixtures containing identical nitrogen would have produced. This is not a marketing claim, this is not folk wisdom, and this is not internet exaggeration. This is peer-reviewed greenhouse research published in a respected scientific journal, demonstrating that the specific gelatin chemistry provides biological benefits that pure amino acid supplementation cannot match. The molecular weight distribution of the collagen protein, the specific ratio of glycine and proline and hydroxyproline amino acids that gelatin contains, and the slow-release nature of the protein breakdown in soil together produce a nitrogen delivery pattern that plants respond to more effectively than they respond to the raw nutritional components delivered separately. So, why is this technique not standard practice in every American vegetable garden, despite the peer-reviewed research supporting it? The answer follows the same pattern as almost every buried gardening technique. Commercial fertilizer companies generate substantial annual revenue selling branded synthetic nitrogen products at prices 5 to 10 times higher than what a $2 box of Pantry gelatin can deliver. Gelatin cannot be patented, cannot be branded as a proprietary garden supplement, and delivers biostimulant nitrogen benefits at a fraction of the commercial fertilizer price. The economics of teaching gardeners to raid their baking cupboards for a $2 box of Knox unflavored gelatin are exactly backward from how the retail garden supply industry needs to function. So the same chemistry that Charles Knox commercialized in 1890 and that Frontiers in Plant Science has validated in 2018 cites largely absent from mainstream American gardening advice. Now, I need to be honest with you, because dishonesty about the specific benefits and limitations of this technique is exactly how good methods become associated with disappointment. Gelatin provides substantial nitrogen supplementation and biostimulant growth benefits, but the peer-reviewed research measured these effects on plant shoot dry weight, meaning total plant biomass above ground, including leaves and stems. The research did not measure fruit yield increases with the same dramatic percentages. Follow-up practical observations by gardeners applying gelatin to fruit-bearing plants have documented that while the plants themselves grow larger and produce more foliage, the additional nitrogen tends to go into vegetative growth rather than into fruit production. Tomato plants treated with gelatin grow larger with more leaves. They do not necessarily produce proportionally more tomatoes. If your primary goal is increasing fruit yield rather than plant size, gelatin alone will not deliver the response the peer-reviewed research documents for total biomass. There is a second honest reality worth flagging. Use only plain, unflavored gelatin in your garden solutions. Flavored gelatin products including Jell-O, gelatin dessert mixes, and any product containing added sugars, artificial colors, or flavorings will damage or kill your plants rather than helping them. The added sugars specifically feed harmful soil microorganisms and can attract pests, while the artificial ingredients provide no plant benefits and may cause phytotoxicity. Confirm the ingredient list on the package shows only gelatin as the active ingredient, and avoid any product marketed for dessert applications regardless of price differences. There is a third caution worth understanding before you apply this to your garden. Prepared gelatin fertilizer solutions cannot be stored for extended periods. The dissolved gelatin begins fermenting within 2 to 3 days after mixing, and fermented solutions develop unpleasant odors along with biological changes that make them unsuitable for garden application. Prepare fresh solutions immediately before applying them. Use each batch within a day or two of mixing at most, and do not attempt to store finished solutions in your garden shed for later use. Now we get to the part you came here for. The exact recipe and the specific application methods that produce the strongest results across the widest range of nitrogen-responsive plants. you will need 1 tablespoon of plain unflavored gelatin. Knox unflavored gelatin works perfectly, and any equivalent store-brand product containing only gelatin as an ingredient works identically. Confirm the label lists only gelatin without added sugars, colors, flavors, or preservatives. You will need 1 gallon of warm water. The water temperature matters because gelatin only dissolves properly in warm to hot water. Start with approximately 1 cup of very hot water, close to boiling, to fully dissolve the gelatin, then add the remaining cold water to bring the total volume up to 1 gallon and cool the mixture to a temperature safe for plant application. Add the tablespoon of gelatin to the initial cup of hot water and stir vigorously until completely dissolved, which typically takes 1 to 2 minutes of continuous stirring. The dissolved gelatin will produce a clear or slightly amber-colored liquid without visible undissolved particles. Add the remaining cold water gradually while continuing to stir, bringing the total volume to 1 gallon while cooling the mixture to a temperature that will not damage plant tissue when applied. Apply the finished solution as a soil drench around the base of plants, pouring approximately 1 to 2 cups around each plant while distributing evenly around the drip line where feeder roots are most active. 1 gallon treats between 15 and 25 mature plants, depending on plant size and root zone diameter. Alternatively, apply the solution to houseplants and container plants by watering normally with the gelatin solution rather than plain water, using approximately the same volume you would use for regular watering. Apply this treatment approximately every 2 to 3 weeks during the active growing season, beginning after plants have established but before flowering begins. The nitrogen supplementation supports vegetative growth most effectively during the early and middle portions of the growing season, and applications after flowering has begun tend to divert nutrients away from fruit development. Do not exceed 1 application every 2 weeks, and do not extend the application window into the reproductive growth phase for fruit-bearing crops. The specific seasonal timing that produces the strongest results follows the natural nitrogen demand of plants across the growing year. The first application works best 2 to 3 weeks after transplanting seedlings, timed just before the plants begin their most active vegetative growth phase. Subsequent applications, spaced at 2 to 3 week intervals, sustain nitrogen availability through the leaf and stem development window, supporting the vigorous foliage growth that peer-reviewed research documented in the Frontiers in Plant Science study. Applications typically end approximately 1 month before expected flowering for fruit-bearing crops, allowing the plants to redirect their metabolic focus from vegetative growth to reproductive development without competing for nitrogen resources. The best use scenarios for maximum benefit from this technique deserve specific attention because the peer-reviewed results appeared most dramatically in specific plant categories that home gardeners can readily target. Leafy greens, including arugula, lettuce, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard, respond exceptionally well to gelatin applications because their commercial value is measured entirely in leaf biomass rather than fruit production, meaning the vegetative growth boost translates directly into more harvestable product. Herbs including basil, parsley, cilantro, and mint benefit from the same biology for the same reason, producing more fragrant leaves per plant when treated with gelatin during their active growing phase. Houseplants in general and container plants specifically show dramatic responses to gelatin applications because container growing environments naturally deplete faster than open ground soil, making the slow-release nitrogen supplementation particularly valuable. Boston ferns, African violets, pothos, philodendrons, and dozens of other common houseplants respond visibly to regular gelatin applications with more vigorous foliage growth and improved overall vitality. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and other brassica family crops also benefit strongly, matching the 50% shoot dry weight increase that the Frontiers in Plant Science research documented for broccoli specifically. The next time you look at a box of Knox unflavored gelatin sitting in your kitchen cupboard next to the baking ingredients, do not just see a dessert-making component. See the same collagen protein hydrolysate that Charles Knox commercialized in 1890, that peer-reviewed research published in Frontiers in Plant Science documented as producing plant growth increases of up to 244% in controlled greenhouse trials, at a cost no synthetic branded fertilizer can profitably match. providing slow-release biostimulant nitrogen to nitrogen-hungry plants that have been quietly starving for the specific chemistry that plain gelatin delivers. The harvest begins now.